Welcome to my Star Wars Battlefront beta preview. I've been playing the beta now since it dropped, pretty much 2 days. Done a shitload of hours on it, done 2 streams on it, and I've leveled up all the way to rank 5, which is the maximum you can do. I've played all game modes, single player and multiplayer. I've been in the X-Wing, the A-Wing, the Y-Wing. No, I haven't been in the Y-Wing, you're making things up now, Mac. I've been in the X-Wing, the A-Wing, the TIE Fighter, the AT-AT, the ATST, the small one if that's what it's called. I've played the Empire, I've played the Alliance, I've played as Darth Vader, I've played as Luke Skywalker. I've done everything that you can do. I've played solo and I've played co-op. So I'm more than qualified to do this. First things first, this is all perfect for me because Green Man Gaming are doing a special for their affiliates. I'm an affiliate for them, and that means that there's a competition on, and the competition is whoever can sell the most games, whichever affiliate, all the other YouTubers, we're all fighting each other to see who can sell the most copies of the game by doing videos like what I'm doing now. And the winner gets a copy of the game, £100 worth of Mad Cat shit, whatever, I don't know. But more importantly, this fucking jumper. Look at it, guys. I want to wear that on Christmas Day. It's all you have to do to get me the jumper is, there's a link in the description, you click that, that sends you to Green Man Gaming. There's also a code underneath that that gets you 23% off this game and pretty much any other game on the site. You can use it for Fallout 4 as well if you want, but you can end up buying this game for only £38. All that remains for me to do is sell the game. That's what this video is about. I just now have to sell you the game, convince you guys to go and buy it. Right, let's begin. So, what is Star Wars Battlefront? Well, it's a remake, kind of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 that was around a long time ago. I played that game a little. I didn't play it a massive amount because round about the time that was released, I was drunk a lot. So I didn't play it a lot, but I have played it recently, and it's a great game. There hasn't been many great Star Wars games. In fact, there's never been a good Star Wars game released for a long time. Star Wars Battlefront is the game that I've been looking forward to the most this year, simply because I'm a massive Star Wars fan and the graphics look great. So let's start with the graphics. They are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, and it runs like shit off a stick. I mean, I was streaming and still running it at 80 frames a second. It's so slick with the mouse and keyboard, the turning's great, there's no issues whatsoever. The aiming's a bit, it's a bit kind of odd, but that might be just me being an old twat. But you know, it felt great as a foot soldier in the game, running around, jumping around, aiming and all the rest of it. Looks fabulous. I mean, there's 2 game modes in multiplayer. There's a PvP, which is just, you know, shit. You're just running around shooting each other. But then there's the big battle for Hoth, which is 20 aside, 40 players. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, guys. There's A-Wings, there's Y-Wings, there's X-Wings, there's TIE Fighters, there's AT-ATs, there's everything flying all over with the Star Wars John Williams music going off in the background. There's Luke Skywalker, there's Darth Vader, there's the trenches around the Rebel base on Hoth. It's just amazing. You feel like you're in The Empire Strikes Back when you are actually playing this game. My jaw was wobbling like crazy. It was dropping onto my desk when I was into this. It's the first game, and I played the MMO of Star Wars, but this is the first game that I've really felt that I was in the Star Wars movies. Amazing, absolutely amazing. They've nailed it totally for the feeling you get when you are actually in the game. So let's talk a bit about the game and how it plays. In the beta there was only 2 game modes, which is a bit of a shame. In multiplayer, that is. There was a single player co-op survival thing which I did, but it was just, you know, waves of enemy coming at you there. But in multiplayer, which is where it is in Battlefront, it always has been, you had, like I say, just a basic PvP battle, but then you had this where you are trying to blow up the shield generator. Remember that? In The Empire Strikes Back, the AT-AT was trying to blow up the big generator, and then they stormed the base. Well, it's that battle, kind of. Yeah. So, how does it play then? Well, you select Rebels or the Empire, and there is no classes. They've taken the classes that used to be in Star Wars Battlefront. We don't have classes anymore. We don't need classes, apparently. So they've took them out, which I'm not fucking happy with because the classes were good. Now you don't select a class, you select a person and you select a different weapon for them. You do a loadout. Like in that game, Call of Duty. You do like a loadout, you know. So you do that now with grenades and stuff. But hang on, you can't because you haven't unlocked them. Sorry, did I not tell you? You have to unlock the weapons like in that game, Call of Duty. That's right. And what happens is as you kill people, you get kind of like it's XP and you level up and you unlock the stuff, you see, as you do in that game Call of Duty. So that's what you actually do when you're playing it. Now, playing the game, you spawn at the beginning and they spawn at their base, and then as you kind of start meeting the enemy and it all hell breaks loose, the spawning seems to go all to shit. You'll just be like spawning in a random spot. It's like, where the f am I? Bam, oops, sorry, you're dead. Because there was a guy just over there shot you. Because he saw you spawn. Because you spawn right next to enemy players. Like in that game. What was that game called? Call of Duty, that's f***ing right. Like in that game Call of Duty, guys. And as you start to play this, you suddenly realise that you don't know where the f*** you are on the map. Because the map makes no sense. You just start seeing enemies to your left, in front of you, to your right and behind you. There's no cohesion in this game. There is no kind of, we're attacking from there and heading over there and the battle line is there. No, none of that. None of that. It's kind of like there's an AT-AT over there, there's some stormtroopers over that side, there's a few of the rebels over there. Oh, there's a rebel base. Remember the rebel base, guys, in The Empire Strikes Back? Of course you do. That's where in Star Wars they had to break down the defense lines of the trenches and then they eventually got to the base and assaulted it. Well, you can assault the base when you fucking spawn, because you spawn like, I don't know what, 30 yards away from it and you just run inside. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Like in that game. I'm not happy. It's Call of fucking Duty with Star Wars skins, guys. That's what we have. That's what this is. They've fucked it up. Mac, you're costing yourself a fortune here. You realise how much money you could have made if you, all you had to do, Mac, was just come on here, say the game was good, everybody would have bought it, and you'd have made a tidy sum of money from Green Man Gaming affiliates. Well, f*** it. The truth of the matter is, this is pretty much Call of Duty. You spawn, you die, you spawn, you die, you spawn, you live, you shoot. Someone else dies, you spawn, you die, you spawn, you shoot. It's kind of, after you've played it for 20 minutes, yeah, that's it. Nothing else happens. You just run around like a prick shooting things. Am I a stormtrooper this round? Yes, you're a stormtrooper. Okay. Pew, 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 dead. Pew, 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 dead. Pew, 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 dead. And rinse and repeat, and then you turn to the other side and then you shoot the stormtroopers. Yeah, can I just say something, guys? People today don't know what the fuck they're doing when they're making games. I mean, you've got these amazing looking graphics, these amazing characters, you've got the sounds echoing from the game, the explosions, the blaster fire, the music score, you've got an X-Wing flying overhead. It looks fucking amazing, but the gameplay is so fucked up, it's beyond, guys. I'm just disappointed, totally disappointed at it. It's Call of fucking Duty with a bit of Battlefield. Do you know something? And I know what you're going to say. Oh, Mac, it was always better in the good old days. Let me tell you something here. Listen, fucking shut the fuck up and listen. Take Battlefield 1942. Very similar type of game. You had loads of troops, loads of land vehicles, loads of air. Similar to this, alright? The map on that, El Alamein take, for example, the Germans were fucking miles away, the Allies were at the other side of the map. Took you ages to get to each other. But what that did, that allowed you to get into your groups, that allowed you to form some kind of fucking tactic, that allowed a battle line to form, a front line where the two forces clashed. And you knew where that line was, even though it was constantly moving with the weight of numbers and the obviously people dying and people winning and air superiority over the battlefield and all the rest of it. That line would eventually start moving one way or another as they pushed forward and took spawn points and all the rest of it. But here's the key, always in that game you felt like you were in a battle to do something, because you knew when you spawned that you weren't going to be shot. You knew you weren't going to spawn in the middle of the fucking Germans. You knew you were going to spawn at your base. And you might go to the hangar and jump in an aeroplane. There it is, standing there, landed. You go up to that plane, get in it and take off. Why can't we do that with land speeders? Why can't we do that with X-Wings? Why can't there be a hangar in the base where you spawn and you walk in there? Oh, because people are camped. So what? Let them camp it, then they'll lose them, won't they? It wasn't a big problem. It wasn't a massive problem camping. Why can't we do that and then just take off and then go and get air superiority? Because what you do in this game, that's not how you get in vehicles. We have these little tiny holograms sprinkled around the battlefield. One might be a TIE fighter, one could be an X-Wing, one might be an AT-AT, one might be a power shield, one, you know what I'm saying? It's pure random that you actually find one. So what that means is, a lot of the time, you could end up in a situation that I've seen loads of times where in the sky there is 3 TIE fighters and not a single allied fucking fighter because nobody's found the cunts yet. So totally unfair. It's total luck based. Whereas in Battlefield 1942 we all had the same amount of planes and they were always in the air. So you always had that balance, which made the battle so much better. But there was a cohesion in that. You knew where you were, you knew what you had to do. In this, you know, people were saying, oh Mac, you've got to go and do this uplink. I was like, I don't give a fuck, because it's so disorganized. It's disorganized chaos. That's all this game is. It's everybody just running around, shooting everybody with the dicks out, masturbating over whether they're going to get top of the leaderboard. That's what it's all about. It's got nothing to do with actually trying to win a battle, because nobody gives a flying fuck about the battle, because the battle itself is banter piss. And here, there's no team, nobody gives a flying fuck about anybody else. And to make it even worse, you can spawn on top of your partner. Everybody is assigned a partner. Whether if you go in with your friend, it'll be your friend. But if you go in solo, you'll be giving a random partner. And when you spawn, you can just click spawn on partner. And what happened to me was, I was shooting somebody, killed them, but then this partner spawned right on them. And I didn't even know what the f was going on. He just shot us and killed us. And it was like, so he just spawned out of midair. Just, hi, bam, dead. It's the lowest common denominator of gameplay in this game. It looks great, sounds great, feels great. It's just let down massively by piss poor level design. Because that's what it is. It's got nothing to do with the characters or the weapons or the vehicles. It's clearly people who don't know what the f they're doing when they're developing a map. Anyway, how do the vehicles work? Well, as I've said, you teleport into them by finding a little hologram thing on the floor. Seriously. I found the fighters very, very hard to control with a mouse. They just didn't seem responsive at all. I mean, you watch the films, how responsive they are. I think you need a controller to use the spaceships. I tried to use a controller in my stream and it wasn't responding very well because I didn't have my controller plugged in. I'm going to say that now because I know somebody will post that because they were watching the stream and found it quite funny. So yeah, I did find it sluggish with the controller when the controller's not actually plugged into my PC. But mouse and keyboard, it just didn't seem to work very well at all. It was very floaty with the control of the spaceship. It needs work, that. The little AT-AT, the tiny baby AT-AT, was hilarious. I loved being in that. It was fabulous. Great, great fun. The big AT-AT was pretty boring because you can't really steer it. It's such a big lumbering thing. Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, again, they're power-ups, transparent power-up holograms that you pick up and you can become Luke Skywalker. I don't think they belong in this. I just don't. It just seemed a bit odd. I mean, it was good fun running around doing it, but it just seemed out of place. And also as well, the lightsaber movement, I was killing people without actually hitting them with my lightsaber. It's like if you wag your lightsaber around somewhere close to an enemy, they will die. And you have force choke where you just press the button and it just does it and then you just run away. It was very poor, to be honest. Another thing as well, grenades. The grenades respawn. You know, you throw your grenade, it respawns after about 10 seconds. But one thing I noticed with the grenades, there's no aiming in the sense of hold the button down for the longer and then you throw it. You know, like when games had skill. Well, with these, it always hits. It's like you throw it in the general direction of somebody, it will land pretty much within range of killing them. You don't have to worry about how hard you throw it or anything. You just press the button up there, great, bang, dead, and then 10 seconds later you've got to throw again. Oh dear. Is this gaming now? Is this where we are with skill-based PvP multiplayer games? Sorry, they f***ed it up, guys. From what I can see, I will say this: if you like Call of Duty, if you like disorganized chaos, running around shooting things in a Star Wars atmosphere, it's a no-brainer. Go and buy it because it is f***ing great. The atmosphere of this game. It's Star Wars. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun playing this. I did have fun playing it. I mean, I've played it all morning, bit of the afternoon, and a lot of time yesterday afternoon. I don't know how many hours I've put into it, but I was enjoying every minute in there. Sure, I was disappointed at what it could have been, but we've been really starved of a decent Star Wars game, and this is the best one that I've played, apart from the original Battlefront. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it up to you. If you want to pre-order it, then obviously there's a link in the description, and there's a code in there. You'll get it for £38. I mean, on the plus side, I mean, another thing on the plus side, there's a lot more game modes that I haven't tried yet, so it is too early to call it. I will be worth buying this when it comes out, but I'm disappointed. It could have been so much more, but I am stunned at how amazing the atmosphere is in the Star Wars universe. They've nailed that. I mean, credit where it's due. It's bloody amazing being in the middle of it when you're just seeing X-Wings flying over your head and you can hear the fights, and then there's a roar of a TIE fighter and you hear a thermal grenade go off and there's a nat-nat coming at you in the distance, and then there's people firing blasters around you, then the Star Wars music kicks in. Fucking hell, guys, it's unbelievable. I can't show you all that for copyright reasons, but man, that music when it kicks in, and it happens all the way through the game, it's great. So if you're into that kind of thing, get it, you're gonna love it. But if you want more of a tactical game, keep well away from it because it's just a dying simulator. So there you go, guys, that's my preview of the Star Wars Battlefront beta. The full review will be coming when the game releases in a few weeks' time.